On last night's episode of Raw, Jey Uso took on Gunther in the main event for the IC Championship, and Jey Uso came very close to winning, but ultimately lost the match after his brother screwed him over. Well, it turns out that Jey Uso was supposed to win this match, according to a new report from Russell Votes on Twitter. They said this. Hearing an interesting story we hope to follow up with more tomorrow. Source states that there were multiple people within the company under the impression Jey Uso was winning the IC title tonight on Raw. I'm told that as late as 6 p.m. this was the direction on various show rundowns within the creative and digital departments. I find it very interesting that there was a last minute change with the plans for Raw. A last minute change was something that was very common with Vince McMahon. However, with Triple H in charge, they tend to have everything planned out with months and even years of long-term storytelling, so to change something like that a couple hours before the show is kind of odd. I do think it was the right call ultimately though. Gunther losing his title at WrestleMania is a huge storyline for the big show. If you take that away from him, then you're pretty much missing out on a big story for that event, and that's kind of dumb. Jimmy and Jey Uso don't even need the belt at all. It makes more sense, if anything, for Jey Uso to want to fight his brother because he cost him both the WWE and IC Championship. I also think this allows Chad Gable to finish his story and become the IC champion and beat Gunther. Now WWE has two strong matches for WrestleMania 40. You got Chad Gable finishing his story against Gunther and becoming the IC champion, winning his first singles championship, and then you have Jey Uso wanting to kick his brother's ass for costing him so many big time moments. It would have also been very weird to see Gunther lose on an episode of Raw. I feel like it's better to have him lose on a big pay-per-view. Anyways, this was the right call. I'm not sure why this was even the plan to begin with, but thankfully they did not go through with it. Anyways, here's what CM Punk said on Raw after it went off the air.
Sitting backstage, watching the show, knowing that Anaheim showed up 11,000 strong, and y'all have been hot all night long. 3 hours, countless superstars, awesome matches. I had to come out here and feel this myself, and to let you all know, this is a bump in the road, and I promise you the next time we are in Anaheim, I will be here, and I will have my boots on.
And now let's talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw and my Raw review. The show started with a big match between Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. Both men needed this win. It's the road to WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes has a huge rematch with Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship, so he needs momentum. And then you have Drew McIntyre trying to earn a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins, so he also needs momentum as well. Both men needed a win tonight. And he's also competing at the Elimination Chamber. Drew McIntyre is really going to compete there, you know? The match was really good, as we expected. When it's Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, those are two top-notch talents, so you wouldn't expect anything differently. WWE shockingly booked Cody Rhodes to lose this match, but I thought it had a good ending. Solo Sikoa spiked Cody Rhodes, and I like this a lot because Drew McIntyre took advantage, and he looked at Solo like, goddamn, I kinda got screwed over last time by this man, but now it's a full circle moment, and he's fully healed. He understands why people cheat. You can see in his eyes that he realizes that this is the way to get on top, at least an easy way. You gotta cheat. After the spike, Drew McIntyre hit the Claymore kick and won the match. I was very surprised that this happened because Cody Rhodes has not been pinned since WrestleMania 39. In fact, Drew McIntyre is the only other man besides Roman Reigns to pin Cody Rhodes since his return. That pretty much means that McIntyre is re-signing, he's winning the Elimination Chamber, and then he's also walking out of WrestleMania as the world champion, because I just can't see WWE giving him this big win to not have him win all those other things. After that, we saw the Women's Battle Royal with the winner earning the last spot in the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in Australia. This was decent. Battle Royals are always kind of okay. It's nothing too special. Raquel Rodriguez won the match. Chelsea Green almost fleeced her way to a victory, but ultimately she ended up losing. I would have actually preferred her to win because I love her character so much. It would have been nice to see her in the Chamber match, but it is what it is. Like, it's not gonna make or break the Chamber match or the Premium Live event. You know, it would have been cool, but that's pretty much it. Anyways, there was a segment between Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley to add some more hype for their match. I didn't really like the sit-down interview too much. I thought that it was alright. I feel like I'm not a fan of this match in general because we already know who's gonna win. Rhea Ripley's not losing her belt a month before WrestleMania to Nia Jax. I would have liked to see Rhea Ripley defend the title in the chamber match, maybe with 5 top women wrestlers. If not that, I think that she should have main evented against a true challenger. Someone like Becky Lynch would have been perfect. It seems like those two are going to battle at WrestleMania, which is fine. However, I feel like they could have shined more on this card in the main event and been given maybe 30 minutes. I wouldn't have been mad at a rematch happening at WrestleMania, you know, instead of a first time match or whatever. That's not even technically a first time match, but you know what I mean. Instead, we need to watch Nia Jax in a position where she isn't really thriving too much. Next up was Awesome Truth and DIY working together to take on the Judgment Day. This was a fun match. R-Truth is so over, and that's actually wild. I did see a take on Twitter saying that he should win the Money in the Bank briefcase from Damian Priest and then become the WWE champion. You see, that's just way too much. It's crazy. However, I think him winning the tag team championships would be a fun moment. Some people are complaining about it on Twitter, but I have no problem with it. The dude is so over, and the people are going to love to see Awesome Truth win those tag team championship belts. You got to give the people what they want. All the women from the chamber then came out to talk about the chamber and their desire to win it. Obviously, it ended up in a big brawl with Nia Jax coming out of nowhere and literally destroying all the women. I'm guessing this was done to make Nia Jax seem like a big threat for Rhea's World Championship. She did completely beat up 6 women, but that still doesn't do too much for me. I just don't care. Like, there's something about Nia Jax, whenever she's on my screen, I'm just like, whatever. I don't really care too much. I still can't see her winning this match and becoming the women's world champion. It's just not happening. The segment was okay. Next up was Chad Gable and Ivar in a singles match. This was so good. Chad Gable is a star ready to explode. I'm glad he was finally able to pick up the win and beat Ivar. He's usually losing to this guy, so it was nice seeing the opposite. It's looking like Chad Gable could be finishing his story and dethroning Gunther because he mentioned it in a podcast, and then he also had some matches with Gunther in a recent live event. So that usually means that you're going to be in a program with someone and you need to start preparing for it through the live events that aren't on TV. I'm really hoping that this is leading to a match with him winning the belt. That is what I want. It would make me so happy. And not just me. If you watch that match, you could hear the crowd go crazy for Chad Gable after doing the German suplex. The man is so over. The people want to see it happen, so let's make it happen. And finally, we got the main event, which featured Gunther defending the IC Championship against Jey Uso. This was as good as it gets. Gunther is one of the best in the ring right now, and main event Jey Uso has been on fire ever since leaving the Bloodline and joining Monday Night Raw. The match was great. Just when it looked like Jey Uso was going to win, Jimmy Uso caused a distraction, costing him the match for his brother. Gunther barely retained the belt. Jey Uso was then brutally beaten down, and this means we're getting the singles match between the twins at WrestleMania. I think that's going to be a really great match. This episode of Raw was a lot of fun. I think it was a great go-home show for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. What did you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next video.